Subscribe to Terror Network. It was past midnight when I left my friend's house after a late night of movies and junk food. Now I was embarked on the 30-minute drive home through pitch-black rural roads. I didn't mind driving this late, even though the isolation made me uneasy. Just focus on getting home, I told myself. About 10 minutes in, my radio started cutting in and out with static. I smacked it a few times but couldn't get a clear signal. Annoyed, I turned it off, leaving me in silence except for the road noise. I tried to shake off my growing nerves. But when I realized I hadn't passed a single car since leaving town, a chill ran down my back. I knew these roads were deserted at night, but usually I'd see some traffic. The isolation rattled me. Don't freak yourself out, I thought. Just get home. But the farther I drove into the lonely night, the more ominous the darkness felt around me. Without warning, my headlights flickered off, submerging me in blackness. Shit! I cried out, hitting the dash. They popped back on, but my heart was now racing. It's just faulty wiring, you're okay, I told myself. But I couldn't ignore the uneasy dread settling around me. Just then, something appeared ahead in my beams. A shadowy figure standing in the road facing me. I screamed, jerking the wheel hard. My car swerved and skidded off the road into a ditch. The engine cut out once I shuddered to a stop. My breath came in panicked gasps as I sat clutching the useless steering wheel. What the hell did I just see? Some terrifying hallucination? Frantically, I peered out into the empty night, seeing no one on the road. I tried restarting the car, but it just sputtered uselessly. I was stranded out here now, I realized with growing dread. Alone on these desolate roads. Working by flashlight, I desperately tried to fix the car. But it was pointless. I needed help. Swallowing hard, I grabbed my phone and keys and started walking, hoping to find a house or signal. The moonlight only allowed me to see several feet ahead. The world around me was infinite blackness. I walked quickly, unnerved by the dead silence. The evil out here felt palpable. In the distance, I finally spotted the faint glow of a house set back from the road. My heart leaped with hope. Steeling myself, I walked up the creaky steps and knocked urgently, praying the owner could help. The door cracked open, revealing an elderly man. I spoke in a rush, pleading for a phone, desperate to leave. He silently opened the door wider, beckoning me in. I hesitated, struck by an instinctual sense of foreboding. But I needed that phone. I reluctantly stepped inside the dark entryway. He led me down a cramped hall lit by a single faint bulb. The floral wallpaper was faded and peeling. A musty scent hung thick in the air. The deeper we went, the more smothered I felt. At last we entered the living room. I asked urgently for the phone. Still silent, he lifted a crooked finger toward the corner. There sat an ancient rotary phone on a doily. Rushing over, I grabbed the receiver, but it was dead. Just cold plastic, no dial tone. My heart dropped. Whirling around, I saw the old man was gone. Vanished. Hello? I cried out hoarsely. I stumbled back down the hall only to find the front door had disappeared, replaced by wall. Frantic, I searched for an exit, but the room seemed to shift, disorienting. Subscribe to Terror Network. Back to the story. Then I heard it. A shrill, inhuman scream erupted inside the house, piercing my bones with terror. The screams kept coming from all directions. I collapsed and screamed into my hands as the shrieks grew deafening. The noise took on an insectile, chittering quality, violating my mind. I felt my sanity unraveling. Just when I thought I'd be lost to madness, I heard a faint whisper cut through the chaos. A voice inside my head calling my name, pulling me back. With my last ounce of willpower, I forced my eyes open again. Blinding sunlight greeted me. I was back in my car, idling in the ditch. Morning light streamed in. A state trooper was tapping on my window, his face creased in concern. Shaking, I emerged from the car and tried to explain what I could. But my memories made no sense, even to me. The trooper said gently, "Let's get you looked at. I think you just fell asleep driving." As a tow truck arrived, he added, "It's over now. You're safe." But as I stared down at my scarred arms and bloodied nails, I knew it had been no mere dream. Some evil lurked out here in the darkness, and it was still waiting for me, watching from the shadows just out of sight. I had escaped its grasp once, but I feared someday it would return to finish what it started. The nightmare was far from over. Please like and subscribe to Terror Network. Thank you all for listening.